All eyes are on Legends Field here in Kansas City, Kansas, as we are moments away from Kansas City and Gotham FC. Welcome in, I'm Josh Toll, and with me is former Canadian international Kaylin Kyle. And Kaylin, you look at the importance of this game coming in tonight for Gotham FC, a win, and they clinch a playoff berth.
And both these teams have been flying as of late, but like you just alluded to, a big game for Gotham. Can they clinch without a lot of their top players gone away on international duty? It's going to be a huge task because you're going up against a Kansas City side that have been flying as of late, and they really have nothing to lose.
You're looking at Kansas City trying to play spoiler as they look to knock Gotham off. You talk about a hot streak for Gotham, well, a dominant performance against North Carolina Courage.
Yeah, and it was the midfield. I mean, talk about the players in there, Ali Long, McCall Zerboni. I mean, they haven't lost in 5 matches. They've scored 6 goals in the last 2. Purse has been alive, and this is someone that was left off the U.S. women's national team. She'll be here tonight. She'll be in a starting position as well. She netted 2 on the day, but it's her partnership with Anumanu that's really started to come alive. And then one player that they will be missing here tonight, obviously the GOAT herself, Carly Lloyd, that just adds so much to this side.
You look at this Gotham side looking for their 9th win of the season and that opportunity to clinch that 4th position right now in the playoff standings as 3 other teams have already advanced on.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about Gotham. I mean, and just how I talked about the partnership of Anumanu. I thought she's a brilliant player. And again, in and out of the lineup at the beginning of the season where Gotham were trying to find the right pieces to the puzzle. I think they've started to found what shape works, what players work where. Obviously, you saw that midfield battle of who was starting with McCall Zerboni being out due to injury. And now that partnership with Ali Long and McCall Zerboni, it's a very difficult midfield. It's ball-playing midfield. I mean, you have players like Larroquette, just a very strong performance. And then Purse has really come alive. I'm being honest. I know my producer is going to disagree with me because obviously Emily Fox getting called into the national team, which is fantastic. But Purse has been fabulous for this Gotham side and has been really a big part of why they have been so successful. I mean, right spot at the right time. You can really play her. She's at that hybrid role, whether it's in the fullback position, up top. Obviously, we've seen her a lot up top with this Gotham side, and this is where she's going to start here this evening for Gotham. You look, again, I want to touch on this midfield. This trio, they're going to have to come up big here tonight because Kansas City have been fighting from start to finish. And then this front line of Anumanu and Purse, just that partnership moving forward. So again, this front 6 for Gotham need to have a massive performance.
Didi Harachich between the sticks tonight with Kaylin Sheridan being out on international duty with Canada, as here we take a look at the starting 11 for Hugh Williams.
Yeah, and Hugh Williams, again, missing a couple players due to international. Obviously, Desiree Scott, which pushes Kristen Edmonds into that defensive midfield role. I mean, Kristen Edmonds, pick your poison where you want to play her. Center back role, full back role, up top. She really just ticks all the boxes. But it's up top with Hamilton and Jenkins. Can they get after this back line of Gotham and get behind early?
Caitlin Rowland also getting the start tonight for this Kansas City side. It's going to be an exciting game here on Friday night in the NWSL between Gotham and Kansas City. Who will come up with the 3 points as Kansas City looks to play spoiler? Meanwhile, Gotham looks to clinch a playoff spot. Welcome back to Legends Field in Kansas City, Kansas, as we get set for Gotham FC in Kansas City. Kansas City looking for that 4th win on the season. They have been performing real well here at home, unbeaten in their last 6 home matches. They're going to look to continue that streak tonight against a Gotham side that is coming into top form here tonight on the road at Legends Field. And we are underway from Legends Field. Kansas City in their home reds with the teal socks. Meanwhile, Gotham FC in the all-white kits. Josh Toll and Kaylin Kyle with you this evening. Kaylin, you're looking at this Gotham side. They want to get the victory. They want to know that they'll have that playoff spot clinch. But for you, what are you looking for from Kansas City coming into tonight's game?
Well, I mean, you just touched on it, just their home record, and it comes down to the field that they're playing on. It's a very difficult place to go. You look at how narrow it is. Obviously, baseball diamond transformed into a soccer pitch, so it bounces different. Kansas knows how this field plays. So can they get after this side early on? I mean, you look at their 4-game hot streak before coming off that 2-1 loss versus Chicago, and just the players that are starting to come alive. So it's a big task for Gotham. But then on the opposite end, you look at Gotham, haven't lost in 5, 6 goals for in just 2 matches, and a win here tonight will clinch them a playoff spot. So much on the line in a very difficult place to go.
You look at Gotham, back-to-back games with 3 goals scored. They have not done that since 2014 as this is headed up, and then Hamilton just could not make connection with that shot attempt as offside flag was up. But you also look at Gotham with that dominant performance against North Carolina. When talking about that with Scott Parks, and he talked about how it was a great performance and great to come away with 3 points, and in the fashion that they did it was just marvelous. Said they made adjustments at half and changed the dynamic of the game moving forward, and they're going to look to continue on that momentum here tonight against Kansas City. This ball played back in the circle, and now won back by Onumonu. Onumonu would leave it back for Amani Dorsey. Onumonu in the channel, working away inside to the top of the area. Looking to cut this one over. Here's Tine. She'll play it outside, and Dorsey will send this up and over and into the stands.
And you look at just how narrow it is from that sideline to that 18-yard box, and this is where Gotham have had a lot of their success, obviously, with Purse down the right-hand side, Onumonu even rolling out into those channels. So a different task for them tonight. Instead of that wide movement, can they have that counter movement off this back line? Someone popping off, someone driving in behind, because it is such a tight field to play in.
Throw here for Amani Dorsey, former Rookie of the Year in 2018. Second player to win Rookie of the Year for Gotham FC, the other one being Rocky Rodriguez. Of course, that was when the team was known as Sky Blue FC. Jenkins, she'll play it to the middle of the field, and Mace will play it into Edmonds. You've seen Haley Mace play up top, now seen her back at outside back here for Kansas City as this is sent over the top. Kawasumi charging up the field. This ball cut out by Kate Del Fava at the moment. Now won once again by Gotham, played right back to Kiki Pickett. Del Fava last year played at center back for Utah Royals FC, and now here with Kansas City, seen her at the midfield position, get her 3rd start of the season. Zerboni is going to pop this one up and just on top of the netting.
And I don't mind this from Gotham outside of the box because it is such a tight space to work in, whether it's down the flank or the middle of the park, but it's this midfield trio again. That quick play down the right, back into the middle, quick little layoff, and then this shot. Zerboni doesn't take this touch, obviously. It's good defensive work from Kansas to go to ground there and just make it a little bit uneasy, but this is definitely one way that Gotham can break down this Kansas City side.
Look at Kansas City tonight with A.D. French out with the U.S. national team. Actually got her 4th international shutout last night for the U.S. against South Korea, but Caitlin Rowland back in, getting her 4th start of the season. Another one of those veterans here for Hugh Williams, acquired in a trade earlier this season from North Carolina, which also sent over Kristen Hamilton as well as Haley Mace.
And you look at those acquisitions that they've gotten from North Carolina. They are building for the future. It has nothing to do with the trade. I mean, you can talk about A-Rod and is it going to be a big loss. I love that Kansas City knew that they were in more trouble long-term if they didn't start making some moves. Hamilton's been brilliant, I think, since coming to Kansas City. You talked about Mace. She started up top, now playing in a fullback role, obviously scoring last game. scoring last game, and then Rollins, obviously with people gone with international duty, just being able to slot in. And Kristen Edmonds, another player that doesn't get enough credit that she deserves, just being able to play any role when asked upon.
Purse moving forward, 4 goals in the last 4 games for Midge Purse.
Which I'm a little shocked she got lifted of the U.S. women's national team this time round. Because you look at how good she has been playing. So, again, lots of questions being asked of the U.S. team. I love that they're bringing in some new players. Obviously, in Emily Fox, we've been really high on her with just her season, how good she's done at racing. So, again, those 2 players playing that similar role, that winging role. But I am a little bit disappointed that Purse didn't get called in.
Taylor Leach will switch sides. Taylor Leach making her first appearance since June 26 here for Kansas City. You look at this Kansas City side, missing 7 players tonight who are out on international duty. Ball. Kawasumi. Tine, a couple games ago, getting her first goals in the NWSL where she scored a brace. A great performance from her in the victory over Orlando. Now Mace pushing up that far sideline. Will step over with the left foot, sends it in, but no one up front for Kansas City. Allie Long will drop this back for Gina Lewandowski.
And I like that Hugh Williams has given Mace this new role, and it says a lot about Hugh Williams and what he's trying to build here. I mean, you look at how the transition of that fullback role has changed over the years, more dynamic, more, you see a lot of players transitioning. I mean, you look at a Canadian international, Janine Becky, overseas now playing in a fullback role.
Jenkins crossing, and that one just in front of the mouth. Dangerous opportunity there for Kansas City.
And who other than Lola Bonta? I mean, she's such a fabulous player. Absolutely love her. I think she's class both on and off the ball. Drives forward here, just creates this overload. Jenkins just rolling out wide. And then it's a good quality ball across the box, and Hamilton just not being able to get on the end of it.
Darian Jenkins on the season, 3 goals. She's very much been a player that's helped create for Hugh Williams this season. Last year for Darian Jenkins, she was in France with Bordeaux. Emmons, another one of those players that's played a variety of positions here in Kansas City. Began at center back, was brought over to be a midfielder, and now seen her at that midfield position.
Where haven't we seen her? Fullback, up top, playing in the number 6. But again, it's a player that shows up week in and week out. I've been lucky enough to play with her, and she just has that winning mentality, and she's willing to put in the work off the pitch to learn new positionings, and she just got that soccer IQ that's difficult. A lot of players don't have the soccer IQ that she does.
Mace clips it forward, headed out. Look at Haley Mace, former number 2 overall pick by Sky Blue in 2019, but elected to go play overseas. This one relayed back to midfield, and Mace. Here's Elizabeth Ball. Ball, one of those players getting her first goal of her NWSL career. That one coming in that performance against the Houston Dash where they won 3-0. Harchich will send this back forward. Tine knocked off the ball by Mace. Mace creating some space, shot on, and easily stopped by Didi Harchich.
And this is why you're seeing, again, going back to that point that I made early on with Mace, a lot of transition of attacking players going into the fullback roles because they can drive on, they can create overloads, they can drive inside, they have the ability to take players on 1v1. Now, on the opposite end, it's difficult having to switch the mindset that you have to be a somewhat good defender as well. So it's definitely working on that on the training pitch, the movement of your feet, how to maneuver your body, how to have that vision and awareness in a deeper role.
Anamanu. Zerboni wearing the captain's armband once again to Purse. Just on the edge of the area, now enters. She's going to let this roll out of play, and it'll be a corner kick for Gotham, the first of the night. Now Caprice Didasco will head over to the corner. Didasco named Team of the Month every month except for September so far this season in the NWSL. Into the 6. Caitlin Rowland making her 4th start. She does have 11 saves on the year. McCain. Ball at the halfway line. Kiki Pickett, this year's number 4 overall draft pick in the NWSL draft out of Stanford. Won 2 championships with the Cardinal. Anamanu weaves her way forward. Back to help is Mace as well as Edmonds. And this one's going to find itself off target, and goal kick coming for Caitlin Rowland.
And this is why teams struggle when they do come to Kansas City, because of just how small the pitch is. It allows you to get more numbers back in and around that 18-yard box. So it's going to take a little bit of individual brilliance from Gotham to really break this Kansas City side down. Or when the game starts to open up, just be a little bit more direct and getting players like Anumanu and Purse in behind.
3rd and final meeting this year between these two teams, or I should say 2nd meeting. Only other meeting ended in a 1-1 draw between these two sides. Tine trying to get by Edmonds. Here's Allie Long, came over to trade during the Challenge Cup from OL Reign and has really taken upon a leadership role with this Gotham side. Hamilton. McCain. Edmonds will play back to midfield and Elizabeth Ball. Pickett into the circle. Dangerous pass back, but right there's Elizabeth Ball. Talk about the success that Kansas City has had here at home. They've earned at least 1 point in 12 out of their 15 home games. Purse knocked over and sent away by Taylor Leach.
And it's a good tackle from Pickett. I've spoke very highly of her with Kansas City since getting the start here. I think she's been a fantastic defender for them. This has to be timed perfectly inside this box and goes back to my point of just that individual flair from this front line of Gotham.
Hamilton to the near side. Jenkins. To that left foot. Brings it back to her right. Now to the left.
Oh. She did all the hard work and just could not get the shot off. This is fabulous from Jenkins. And it's a great ball from Hamilton, picking this one up in the mid, having that little look here, and then Jenkins just pulling off on this right-hand side. And then this little bit of skill here, holds her one defender, shakes off her other, and then just slows the pace down, shimmy and a shake again, and just hits this one. Again, does all the hard work, and then just not able to get this shot on target.
Jenkins on the season does have 3 goals. Harchich will send this away. She does have 2 clean sheets on the year. She got her first clean sheet in the NWSL during the Challenge Cup. Kawasumi. Just too heavy of a pass there for Midge Purse. Gotham looking to make it 3 straight wins, and if they can do that, they will clinch a playoff spot. Of course, Portland Thorns are this year's NWSL Shield winners. OL Reign and the Washington Spirit have also clinched playoff spots. Didasco. Anamano looking for Tine. And here's Taylor Leach to play it back. Anamano. Back heel to Didasco. This one crossed and easy scoop for Caitlin Rowland.
It's a great opportunity. Again, we always talk about international breaks and players missing. It gives players like Rowland to have her, I believe you said, 4th start of the season.
Good ball down, but Hamilton unable to reach the ball before Didi Harchich.
Especially going into next season, obviously Kansas City not making the playoffs, but gives a lot of these players an opportunity to show themselves that they deserve to be back within this squad next season, and they want to fight, maybe not for that starting 11 position, but being in the squad when international duty is away, that the coach can look upon them to fill this role.
Look at Rachel Corsi being out with Scotland, so one of those other reasons that Taylor Leach could be seeing some more action here for Kansas City. Some other players on the pitch as well. Desiree Scott also being away with Canada. On the other side for Gotham, you have Kaylin Sheridan out, Evelyn Vian, you have Carly Lloyd. Look at Carly Lloyd last night, making her 315th cap with the U.S. national team against South Korea. Only Christine Lilly has more caps for the U.S. side. Didasco to the top of the 6, headed up, and Rowland will track this down on the end line. Tine. Anamano, she's gonna fire away and blocked in front by Taylor Leach. You look at Anamano, 7 goals, 3 assists on the season. Looking for that 8th goal would tie the team lead with Midge Purse. Hamilton. Looking to get by Dorsey. Hamilton crossing. And now a corner coming for Kansas City.
And Hamilton's been so impressive with Kansas City. Just the confidence she's using, obviously, with North Carolina in and out of that squad. Your confidence dies when you're in the 11, then coming off the bench. You just want to fight to be in that starting spot. And she is completely revamped and just a new player here. I mean, the confidence, leading this line, leading the press, dropping defensively, the communication since coming here. It seems like she's been a Kansas City player for years.
Look at Kristen Hamilton, 2019 second best 11 in the NWSL. Also Julie Dolan Medal Award winner that year down in Australia. Mace with an opportunity there, but once again sent wide, but hit off a Gotham player, and we'll have another corner for Kansas City. This one by Ball, repelled away. Well, just the other week got her first NWSL goal, was looking to get her second right there, the undrafted player out of Penn State. Long. Two-time NWSL champion with the Portland Thorns in 2013 and 17. Skrosky. Dorsey. This one chested down by Kiki Pickett, now played out wide by Tine, looking for Caprice Didasco, but she's going to run out of room on the smaller field. Kaylin, when you play on a field like this and you don't have as much width, how does that change the game if you're, say, someone at Gotham that you're not used to playing on it?
It's honestly one of the most frustrating, difficult things because it is so small. It's not just a couple yards. I mean, you look at the 18 to the sideline, it's extremely difficult. You have to completely change your type of service into the box. You have to completely change your build-up. A lot of teams that come here that love to keep the ball and move the ball always struggle against Kansas City because Kansas City just makes it a very difficult game, gets stuck into tackles, and catches you almost sleeping because the frustration that sets into you that you can't play through, you can't play around because there's literally just no room.
And Caprice Didasco just handed the first yellow card of the night.
You can see this tackle here with Didasco just catching the wrong side. I mean, it's an earned yellow card. Obviously, Didasco, another player that's been fantastic for this Gotham side. There's a lot of fullbacks that I keep bringing up on every single broadcast. I think it's been very much a delightful spot within the NWSL this season.
Mace to the top of the area. Opportunity here for Kansas City.
Handball.
Ball still poked loose. Labonta. And Allie Long will win this ball back for Gotham. Emmons to the near side and Kiki Pickett. Ball. Purse looking for Onumanu. Ball back for Kansas City. Kawasumi. Leach to Ball. Mace looking to play it up to Darian Jenkins. Jenkins now trying to get by Gina Lewandowski on the end line, and she'll run out of room, and a goal kick coming for Gotham. Fan CBS Sports will air a special feature on Carly Lloyd this Saturday on CBS and Paramount Plus. Catch it on at We Need to Talk at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. There will also be an extended version of that at halftime on October 31st in Gotham's last game. Look at Gotham after this, 2 home and homes as they will head to Racing Louisville next Thursday, and then they will host Racing Louisville to close out the season. Purse. She's gonna fire it in. Purse scores once again, making 3 straight games for Midge Purse with a goal.
And this play actually starts deep in the midfield with McCall Zerboni picking off a pass, just setting in defensively, not getting frustrated, feeling the most difficult spaces where Kansas City love to play through. You can see them just gaining their shape here. McCall Zerboni, it's just that little bit of a shift in the midfield, that cover and support, which allows McCall Zerboni to win this one and find Purse. This is that moment I was talking about, individual brilliance in tight spaces. It's a 3v1 on Purse, and she releases this at just the right moment, across from a difficult angle, by the way, beating the goalkeeper, far post. Fantastic finish from Purse. And she's making a point of why she was left off the squad for the U.S. women's national team.
Midge Purse with a new career high in goals with 9, now tied second in the NWSL. Edmonds. Labonta playing it out wide, but this one cut out by Caprice Didasco. Mace. Jenkins. McCain trying to turn away. Jenkins just fanned on that shot attempt. Hamilton on the touchline. Now at the corner. Good help here by Kawasumi as Hamilton unable to split defenders, but will at least earn her team a throw. Del Fava will play it out. McCain crossing, square ball. This one fired on and just knocked wide. Well, Kate Del Fava with an excellent opportunity there for Kansas City.
And this is a great response from Kansas City. They could have sat back in, felt sorry for themselves, and it was McCain down this right-hand side. Del Fava following up in the midfield, a brilliant save here, but this is that change in this Kansas City side. They have this fighting mentality, even when they go down a goal, to fight, to continue to push on, not come off their playing style, like to build up, make it a very difficult game. So again, good opportunity for Kansas City to claw back into this one and make it 1-1.
Del Fava, you look at last year with her first season in the NWSL with Utah Royals, but her senior season at Illinois State, she scored 17 goals. Del Fava being pressured here by Zerboni as Zerboni will dispossess the ball. Purse now with 4 goals in 3 straight games for Gotham. She is in absolute tip-top form right now. Kawasumi. Hamilton will drop this back for Edmonds. Edmonds coming to the near side and Kiki Pickett. Well, when we talked to Scott Parkinson, he talked about how he wants this team to be aggressive, how he wants to be a club that can put the foot down and get on that front foot as much as possible and really create opportunities. He wants this team to dominate and be dynamic, but as well as be a resilient team. Showing tonight that they're able to get off on the front foot once again here against Kansas City in the second and final meeting between these two teams. giveaway here, but Roland able to get the ball back as just a little heavy of a touch there from Gaetan Tine. Mace looking for Jenkins. Long will play it back. Kawasumi. Pickett. Just joined us. Lone goal coming in at the 25th minute by Midge Purse, assisted by McCall Zerboni. A win tonight, and Gotham clinches a playoff position. Dorsey down the line. And then Lola Bonta knocked over from behind by Amani Dorsey. Bonta, another one of those leaders here on this Kansas City side. Even when she was with Utah, still made Kansas City her off-season home. But back to the city of Fountains now.
Newly married as well. Congratulations.
Ball will drive this in. Fava was able to get her head on it, but could not direct it on frame. Onumanu to that right foot. Back there to help us Taylor Leach. Kawasumi looking for Purse. Look at Midge Purse and what she has done this season. Now tied with Megan Rapinoe for the highest goals per game ratio on the season. 9 goals in 15 games for Midge Purse. 6 goals in 10 games for Megan Rapinoe. Mace now on the near side. Back post ball. Kawasumi able to keep it in play. Lewandowski. Lewandowski, 12 seasons in the German Bundesliga before coming back stateside. Last 3 years now here with Gotham FC. Dorsey. Kawasumi trying to get by Pickett. For now, Kawasumi sitting on 24 assists in her NWSL career. Assists tonight, she would be tied with Sofia Huerta of OL Reign for 3rd all-time in NWSL history. Top 2 leaders in assists in the NWSL are Jess McDonald and Lynn Williams, both with the North Carolina Courage. Both those players also with over 50 goals each in their NWSL careers. Kansas City, you look at this, will be the second to last game here at home at Legends Field. And then next year they'll be playing at Children's Mercy Park, so a soccer-specific stadium.
Which is fully needed. I mean, you look at the NWSL and you look at where it's projecting and where it's going. It's only a matter of time before a Canadian team gets it, but it has to be played on proper playing surfaces. And again, I love that Kansas City, again, taking great ownership, so it's taking nothing away from them. They're building a squad, they're building a team. Obviously, this is just a transitional field, so you love to see them, you know, putting in the work to get these players proper playing conditions.
You look at this team coming together in December of last year. And really the strides that they're making already in this first season as Jenkins works away the end line crossing. The follow-up by Mason, blocked away by Harchich.
And Mace has completely taken this role and has run with it, no pun intended. I mean, she's really made it her own down this right-hand side. And Jenkins has been a handful for Kansas City in this first half thus far. Again, you have Mace on that far side, on that left-hand side, following this play up and just having the confidence to let this one go.
Edmonds squeezes through two defenders at the end line. Look at Kristen Edmonds. She was with Orlando in 2016. She led the team in scoring, but like you said, a player that can play multiple positions and will do anything for the side. Labonta. Mace. High arcing ball at the spot to Hamilton. Up top to Labonta, and then the collision in the box between Dorsey and Hamilton, and that's going to bring the trainers out. Take a look back at this collision between these two players.
And another fabulous ball into the box from Kansas City. Two players just going hard into this one, no intent whatsoever. So hopefully these players, obviously Hamilton getting this, almost the brunt end of this through the back of her, not seeing the player, and Dorsey, obviously just center back coming up to try to challenge this one.
Look at Kristen Hamilton, 2 goals on the season. Amani Dorsey just getting better and better at that outside back position. And that was one of the things that Scott Parkinson talked about, how good she was as a forward before making the transition, but loves how she can get in the attack. Very good player, 1v1. So both these players with a look here. Up next for Kansas City, they will close out the season Saturday. They will host OL Reign. That'll be at 8 p.m. Meanwhile, Gotham FC, they still have 2 more games. They have a game Thursday at Louisville at 7:30 Eastern, and then they finish at home against Racing Louisville as Kristen Hamilton now able to get to her feet. And Dorsey as well for Gotham. A great look at Hugh Williams. Hugh Williams has been in the Kansas City area since the 80s. Of course, he was GM of FC Kansas City, and now the first man to lead this Kansas City side in their expansion season. Talk about what else this ownership group is doing here in Kansas City, putting $15 million into a training facility. Just another great thing happening here in Kansas City. Gotham up 1-0 here as we approach the 40th minute. We'll have highlights and stats from this one, as well as a look back from last week's action in the NWSL. International break happening right now. You look at 55 players gone here in the NWSL. Kawasumi. Teenage just runs out of room as both players will come back on. Kansas City looking for an equalizer here before half. Now Gotham looking to possibly add to their goal total. Purse. Now Zerboni with it. Out wide to Purse once again, the lone goal scorer in this game. Dorsey. Now a chance here on a free kick from a dangerous spot for Gotham. Win tonight, Gotham clinches a playoff spot for the first time since 2013.
You can see Labonta just getting done on her legs. You never want to get nutmegged, so I don't mind this from Labonta. Obviously, the frustration sets in, but then you pick up a set piece in and around the 18-yard box with just 5 minutes to go to halftime.
Dorsey curls it in, headed on by Purse, but right at Roland. Beautiful ball in, just could not get it by the keeper.
No, it's a fabulous ball in, bending around just that wall and Labonta into the 18-yard box, just not being able to generate enough power on it to pass the goalkeeper.
Labonta was looking for Del Fava, but too heavy of a touch. Long near side to Kawasumi. Kawasumi down the line for Purse on the edge of the area. And Purse wins Gotham another corner. Right-footed ball coming from Didasco. Like she just mishit that. Real mistake there on the corner by Caprice Didasco. Mace for Hamilton. Skrosky back for Gotham. Mace with the best chance here in the first half for Kansas City.
Mace has had a few chances. I mean, the one just struck outside, and then the good opportunity in the 18-yard box just couldn't beat the goalkeeper. You look at Gotham defensively, they've been okay. They've been broken down, so I feel like Kansas City, I love that they're not slowing up in this match. They're finding the gaps, they're finding the opportunity. Now they just have to be a little bit more clinical in and around that 18-yard box.
Jenkins for Hamilton, a chance here for Kansas City. Hamilton pops it over and onto the hill.
And this is the best chance of the game for Kansas City. You look at this, first thought, play forward, little half turn here from Jenkins. This fabulous run splinting the center back, and then just completely mishitting this. It almost just takes a little bit of bobble that last minute. That last touch just can't get her foot up and over.
And then tripped up in the area, and we will have a chance here at the spot for Kansas City right before half.
And this is 100% the correct call. So obviously just jumping back to Hamilton, missed opportunity, has that little bit of a bite, and just dispossesses the center back here and then gets brought down. It's a bad tackle inside the box. You can see almost her knee hits, which just holds up her foot of getting that tackle, because she actually timed it very well. It was just her knee that stopped that momentum, but correct call from the referee to go to spot here.
With Skrosky getting the start tonight with Estelle Johnson away with Cameroon for their qualifier against Central Africa Republic. And now stepping up to the spot will be Kristen Edmonds. Edmonds looking to give Kansas City an equalizer. And she does, as Kristen Edmonds puts Kansas City on the board in the 45th minute.
And it's a great PK, and this is what Kristen Edmonds does. She shows up. She shows up week in and week out. It doesn't matter where you play her, fullback, right back, center back, striker number 9, and now a defensive midfield 6 here. I mean, she's done a good job, but coming back to Hamilton, just obviously missed a huge opportunity moments before, nicked this one off the defender, seconds later, goes to ground here, and it's Kristen Edmonds. How about this for precision, just bending with that inside of her right foot. I mean, hits this so smoothly. We have ourselves a game.
That was Kristen Edmonds' first PK attempt ever and first PK goal ever, but it's also the first PK attempt and PK goal for Kansas City. Another one in the history books for this expansion side. Like you said, game on. You talk about the success here for Kansas City at home, unbeaten in their last 6, and now have tied up the game right before half. A tie tonight for Gotham. They do not clinch a playoff berth. Lewandowski back for Gotham. Look at the 3 teams that have clinched so far here in the NWSL. Portland Thorns, that top spot, winning the NWSL Shield, and then OL Reign and Washington have also clinched playoff berths. Now Kansas City looking to add to that goal total. Jenkins just overran that ball, allowing Didasco to get to it, and the collision between Jenkins and Didasco. Didasco. Kawasumi. Go back to that PK. That was the first time for D.D. Harchich to face regulation penalty kick since 2019. And there is the whistle to end the first half. Kaylin, your thoughts on the first 45 minutes of play?
Look, it was a very evenly matched first 45 minutes. I think this is a well-deserved 1-1. Opportunities on both ends. Purse the difference maker for Gotham. And then it was Kansas City that didn't take their foot off the gas, continued to push, continued to press, loads of pressure, missed opportunities. And it came down to a PK to make ourselves have a game here. But I think it's a well-deserved 1-1.
For Kristen Edmonds, her first goal of the season, and that one coming from the spot. Meanwhile, Mitch Purse now with 9 on the season, as we will go to half tied up 1-1 between Kansas City and Gotham. What does the second half have in store? Well, we will find out right here on Twitch. welcome back. We are in half here at Legends Field in Kansas City, Kansas, as we'll look at some previous matchups here in the NWSL, with this being the lone game of Friday. We'll go back and look at Racing Louisville and the Orlando Pride.
Yeah, and Orlando started this one off. Obviously, Alex Morgan picking this ball up, great little ball into the middle, and Jody Taylor making this dashing run through that fullback, center back channel, that little quick switch of feet there, left foot to right foot to give them that early lead. And then it was all downhill for the Orlando Pride. It was really Racing Louisville that came out. I mean, how about this for a strike with Ebony Salmon, top of that 18-yard box, just curls this one top corner, has the time, has the space, and doesn't make any mistake. And then another opportunity here, Salmon setting this one up, McClure driving forward and just coming across Aaron McLeod here on that far side. And I wanna say that was the last goal, but again, I told you they didn't take their foot off the gas pedal. A good little interchange down this right-hand side. Again, Ebony Salmon getting onto this ball, starting this point of attack. Fabulous ball in behind this back line, and Yoki Nagasato on that back post, slotting it in to make it 3-1 for Racing and punishing Orlando. It's really been a slippery slope for the Pride.
And then you go up to the Pacific Northwest, Washington going up to Tacoma and getting the victory.
Yeah, massive performance for Washington. Talk about a team starting to come alive at the later end of the season. Great ball, great service here. But again, terrible defensive mark, has time, has space to just lob this one over. There's no power, there's no precision, or sorry, excuse me, no power. She has the precision again just to pick this one out on that half little volley there. Fabulous little goal from Washington in the 22nd minute. And then jumping to the 59th minute, Ashley Hatch has been brilliant for Washington. She started in the Challenge Cup, wasn't happy with her performance there, and has really solidified herself in this starting 11. And it comes down to that good midfield win. But how about this for a strike outside of the 18? I talked about oozing confidence for a player like this. And she, again, is someone that continues to strive to be the best on this team.
You look at Washington unbeaten under the leadership of Chris Ward as we take a look at the action beginning next Thursday. 4 straight games here, or I should say 4 straight days of NWSL action to close out the season.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. And again, you talk about just how tight that bottom end is to claw their way. Can Gotham clinch that 4 spot? But then you look at the teams, Orlando Pride on 28 points, North Carolina 32, Houston 32, Gotham sitting on 32 right now before this game. And so it's just going to be really interesting to see where these teams end up.
They win tonight, though, for Gotham, and they will clinch themselves a playoff spot. And, of course, the NWSL Championship will be in Racing Louisville on November 20th. Still more exciting action coming your way as we get set for the second half when we return to highlights and stats. Welcome back. We are at half at Legends Field in Kansas City, Kansas, as this one is all knotted up at 1 apiece, as we'll take a look back at the first 5 minutes of action here between Kansas City and Gotham.
Yeah, and it started off in the 25th minute down this left-hand side, and it was the breakup play from Miguel Zerboni that led to this goal-scoring chance and a goal from Purse. Fabulous ball winning in the midfield again, just being confident and cool in that midfield, not stepping out too quick, too early. And then Kansas City really put on the gas. I mean, they did not let their foot off. They continued to push. They continued to pride. They continued to try to break down this Gotham side. And it was from this left-hand side. Mace had the best opportunities from this game. I thought she was brilliant in the first 45 minutes. And then it was Hamilton, moments earlier, missed a clear goal scoring chance, just putting it over the bar, and then made no mistake, won that ball off the defender, and then got brought down in the 18-yard box. And it was Kristen Edmonds that stepped up to make this one 1-1. Honestly, this player can really do it all. Doesn't matter where you play her, she continues to show up.
A late goal right before stoppage time for Kristen Edmonds, and we are all tied up at 1 apiece. And we will have a second half kick from Legends Field in Kansas City, as Kansas City looks to spoil the fun for Gotham. Welcome back. Moments away here from second half kick at Legends Field in Kansas City, Kansas, and just one sub made at half, as Elizabeth Eddy will come in for Amani Dorsey in Gotham FC. But for you, Kaylin, what are you looking for out of Kansas City as they look to get that second goal in this game?
I think continue what they ended in that first 45 minutes. You saw that goal from Purse, and they could have just dropped their shoulders, but you look at the stretch of games that they've had as of late. They went on that 4-game haven't lost in those 4 games, and obviously came off that 2-1 loss. But you look at some of the results: 0-0 versus NC Courage, Washington 2-1, Portland 0-0, and then Houston 3-0. They won that one. So they're continuing to build off momentum, and I love that they've changed the mindset in and around the team. It's that never die mentality, continuing to work for one another, even though they have no chance of making the playoffs. It says a lot about this team and the character and what they're trying to build for the future.
Well, you look at the chance that, well, Haley Mace had a couple there in that first half. Kristen Hamilton also with a great chance where she was able to slip by the defenders, but popped it up and over to the crossbar, and then ultimately Kristen Edmonds would step up to the spot and get the lone goal for Kansas City, as now here they look to get off on the front foot early in the second half. Jenkins. Delfava will sidestep and play it back to Haley Mace. And now recycled to midfield. Leach.
You can see the little bit of a tactical adjustment for Gotham as well. Obviously, Dorsey coming out, Eddie moving to the right-hand side, and Didasco moving over to that left-hand side just to help deal with the pace of Jenkins, giving them a handful, just rolling out wide.
Labonta. For you, what do you need to see from Gotham here in the second half as they look for that win?
I think for Gotham, I mean, it's a big task going, obviously, to Kansas City. It's a difficult playing surface to play on. It's super narrow. It doesn't benefit Gotham at all. So I think it's just the mindset of, you saw how the first goal happened. They didn't get stretched. They didn't get pulled out of position, and it was Zerboni that won that ball in the midfield. And it was that quick release and just taking opportunities in and around that 18-yard box, especially with, you know, some of their big players out with the national team. You have Carly Lloyd that can tend to just turn a game around on a dime and just not get frustrated. Don't do anything silly. Don't pick up any silly set pieces in and around your box.
Chance for Hamilton, looking for Jenkins, and Eddie steps in front. Crowd wanted a second call and a second PK opportunity.
And I'll be interested to see the replay of this. I mean, you heard me mumble under my breath at like this, and those are those moments, just defensively getting caught wrong side. Eddie coming into this match, just switching over to the right-hand side and getting caught on completely the wrong side of the ball. You can see that big gap opened up with that center back, fullback channel. We'll try to get you the replay in just a moment.
Kaylin, ask and you shall receive.
That's because we have the best producers ever. This is why. But you see this little movement. Center back stepping. Now, you have 2 center backs. Obviously, one's dragged over, then the other one pulling out. If your second center back steps, that fullback has to get tucked in, has to get goal side, and just doesn't. And that comes from just making that halftime substitute. It's a difficult one to make, but it's got to be better.
Edmonds, the lone goal scorer for Kansas City in this one. Her first goal on the season, first goal ever from the PK spot in Kansas City history as well. Unbeaten in their last 6 at home. They have really made this smaller field a fortress here at Legends Field. Just one more game after this at home for Kansas City, and then on to next year in Children's Mercy Park. Gotham, if they get a win tonight, it would be their 9th of the season, matching their team best from 2014 when they had 9 wins on that year. Tine nearly gave that away as Eddie plays this off Darian Jenkins. Jenkins coming over in the offseason in a trade with OL Reign for Sierra King.
And another fantastic, nothing taking away from King. I think she's a fabulous player, but Jenkins has continued to really blossom getting into this starting 11 and playing week in and week out, getting those 90-minute performances. You saw in the first 45 minutes just how dynamic she was, whether it was breaking that line or rolling to the right, taking players on.
Labonta, 2 defenders on her. Can you look at this Kansas City side? 7 players in total out with their international teams. Hamilton saying they should be a throw for Kansas City. And it will go in favor of Gotham, and it'll look like it'll be a goal kick. Archich sends it to midfield. Archich represents Bosnia and Herzegovina. Her father also did the same as an Olympic bobsledder for Bosnia and Herzegovina. As Leach plays it into the circle, and Labonta. Labonta dragged down by Anumanu. Just the one yellow card in that first half going to Caprice Didasco.
I think another thing, completely off topic, I don't even know how this popped into my head, but something for Kansas City to really look forward to once they go into that new pitch is you look at all these players, they're going to be playing on a massive surface. So already talk about how this place is a fortress. They have the players that thrive in big areas, that can break lines. I mean, you look at the front runners of Hamilton and Jenkins, so good off the ball. So it's going to be a really exciting 2022 season. Sorry, random thoughts by Kaylin Kyle on a Friday evening. I don't even know why that popped into my head, but.
Well, it gives you a chance to fully develop the team when you have more space, too.
Well, exactly.
It allows you to change up different things that you can utilize players with.
And you look at the players that he's brought in, players that are young, players that are dynamic, players that have the pace but also have that technical ability. So moving someone like a Mace into that fullback position where she can cover a lot of ground. So it's going to be so exciting next season for these players playing on a big pitch at home, an incredible venue.
Leach. Delfava will drop this back for Elizabeth Ball. Ball began her career undrafted out of Penn State. Started with the Portland Thorns before being traded to Utah Royals FC for Becky Sauerbrunn, and then coming along here to Kansas City in the expansion side. Zerboni the near side, and Purse looking for Anumanu. Brings it down, a chance here for Anumanu. And that one kicked away on the save by Rowland. There is Zerboni grabbed on the play by Addie McCain, and now we'll see a yellow card handed out to the first-year player out of Texas A&M.
This is such a nice little turn from McCall Zerboni. It's the correct call here. I mean, look at little Cruyff turn as it's bobbling, and all she can do is just hold on to McCall Zerboni. But again, it's in a dangerous area in and around this 18-yard box.
And now Gay Tantine will line up. Tine. Zerboni with a strike, and that one off frame.
McCall Zerboni is one of those players that you'd love to have on your team. Obviously, I was lucky enough to play with her, so it's not even only what she does in games. It's in training sessions. She's one of the hardest workers. She expects the best out of you week in and week out, day in and day out, and it's how she communicates as well. It's very straightforward, but it's never aggressive. I don't know how she does it because it's always so positive, but makes you such a good player.
Purse. This ball won by Edmonds. Edmonds now retreating. Tine there with a little push from behind. Edmonds with the goal from the PK spot. She's actually the second player for Kansas City to score from the spot this year, as Lola Bonta did it against Houston. And now we get to see Mandy Freeman enter the game. Mandy Freeman, big game back last week after returning from injury, but talking with Scott Parkinson as she now makes her 50th NWSL appearance. But just great to have her back. What a player she is. really brings some more life, just loved by everyone around this team. Talked about how she's such a good passer and really didn't know how good of a passer she was until he came over, as we'll have another yellow card handed out here.
A yellow card caution.
And to be fair, this ref has gotten everything right. Who am I tonight? Friday nights bring the best out of me. I mean, she really hasn't made a call that I've thought differently. I mean, PK call correct. All the yellow cards have been correct. She's done a very good job in 55 minutes. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to give it the commentator's curse, but she's done a fabulous job in this match.
Alex Billiter, the referee in charge in the center tonight. Maybe she'll write you a nice little thank you card.
Probably. She's probably reffed me, so I'm not going to hold my breath on that.
As Kiki Pickett now will play it back. Leach, first appearance since June 26, relays it back. Long in the circle. Didasco. Chance here as ball fell down. Onumano, square ball just behind Purse. And now a chance here for the counter in Kansas City. Hamilton gets by Eddie. Hamilton out wide. And this one knocked away by Kawasumi. Mace. Jenkins on the near side. Crossing. And no one on that back post for Kansas City.
And just on this opposite end, you can see down this left-hand side, good opportunity, ball played in. I don't know. I mean, you can see, would it be a harsh call? But does catch her front leg there. Again, not in a goal-scoring opportunity, but I've seen less called around the world. For me, it's a good call from the referee, but again, just jumping back to anything in and around this 18-yard box. The rules are forever changing. I mean, the handball rule just changed a couple weeks back, so I'm going to stick with it. Another good call from the referee. At first, I thought, maybe go into the spot on this one.
Purse. Dispossessed of the ball by Labonta. Purse on the outside, looking for Onumano. Cleared away by Elizabeth Ball. Look at teams that have clinched a playoff spot. Portland with the NWSL Shield, OL Reign, and Washington Spirit also have clinched a playoff berth. A win tonight for Gotham, and they are in. Of course, you look at this as it's played over, and Lewandowski will play this out wide to Didasco, but right now, over 4,500 tickets have been sold for the NWSL Championship, now at Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. This one flicked back and will make its way past the inline, but if you want tickets and more information, go to nwslsoccer.com/championship.
I think it's pretty incredible, 4,500s with the change of venue with only a couple weeks. It's fabulous to see the support, and it was really cool. Racing put out a tweet that had all the states within America of where the tickets were bought from, which I've never seen that before. I thought it was really interesting, which I thought was super cool.
I think there's 13 states right now that have not bought tickets. So if you're in, say, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, buy some tickets.
I'm shocked, Minnesota. I'm really shocked. It's the state of everyone that's very nice, isn't it? They compare them to Canadians.
Well, maybe they will have changed that by tonight. We'll see, as I believe that was put out a day or two ago by Racing Louisville.
I'll get my mother and father-in-law to buy a ticket. They probably won't be able to go, but at least a ticket will be bought from the state of Minnesota.
Every state, though, with an NWSL team has bought a ticket.
And if you're tuning in on Twitch, I always love doing this. Let us know where you're watching from, or if you bought a ticket. How about that? I like that.
Yeah.
I like throwing in a little bit of a different one. I always ask where people are watching from. So if you bought a ticket, throw it in and let us know what your plans are and when you get there.
Race Louisville, that team, that organization, you look at Lou City and what they have done on the USL side, always putting together a great show and a great just venue, as well as a great community in city. It's going to be a fun time for NWSL fans and whatever the final two teams are that make that championship game.
And fair play for them stepping up in such short time.
Labonta crossing. A chance here. Oh, knocked over the bar by Harchich. What a magnificent save.
And this is an incredible opportunity from Kansas. It's that never die mentality. Labonta, fabulous ball in. I love this long stretch across, just trying to redirect this one onto frame. A fabulous save, by the way. Yes, it's directly at her, but she has to move her feet from right to left to get across, just to shut down that angle. Fabulous from both parties.
Great look there by McCain. Just could not get it by Harchich. Lewandowski plays it away. Delfava. Labonta.
We got Brazil, Australia, New Jersey, Washington, United Kingdom, Vancouver. No one from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. This is 2 weeks in a row I've been on Twitch and no one from Saskatoon. I need to talk to my Saskatchewan people.
This one played out wide by McCain. Labonta in pursuit. Up top to Delfava, heads it. Delfava getting her third start of the season tonight. Again, Kansas City without 7 players who are gone on international duty.
Wait, we do have someone from Saskatoon.
There we go.
87-4. I'm sorry, I must have missed you last week. Yes, finally.
Delfava to Hamilton. Missed chance there, as now Elizabeth Eddy will come up in the near channel. And now we will have a substitution for Gotham FC as Jennifer Cujo will come on. And Cujo will replace Naho Kawasumi, and we'll also see Paige Monahan jog on the field in here in just a moment. Cujo into that midfield, and then Monahan, another attacker that can score goals here for Scott Parkinson, as she'll replace Gaetan Tine. She'll talk over some strategy with Midge Purse for a moment.
Substitution for Gotham FC in the 63rd minute. Leaving the game at number 1.
Cujo with her first touch.
By number 6, Jennifer Cujo. Also the 63rd minute. Leaving the game at number 27, Chile. Replaced by number 4.
This one relayed back. Edmonds.
I think these are two great subs for Gotham to bring in. Obviously, Cujo just breaks up play in the midfield. She's starting to get better of just being a little bit more disciplined, not getting into any silly challenges, which is fantastic because I rate her so high for this midfield side.
Cujo. Triboni with some pressure from her former teammate Hamilton, and gives it away to Kansas City, and then one back by Mandy Freeman. Purse. Purse crossing. Sent away by Taylor Leach, but only as far as Elizabeth Eddy. Blocked away by Delfava.
And you alluded to it, obviously, when Freeman came in. I was such a fan of her before she picked up that unfortunate injury, just the partnership of her and Lewandowski, because it's her distribution. Yes, she wins tackles, she gets stuck in, but you even see that first time, doesn't even settle it, finds the distribution out to this left-hand side to Purse. Purse puts in a good quality chance into the box.
Roland's going to grab this out of the air. Hamilton gets around Zerboni, and then Zerboni with that outstretched leg commits the foul. Of course, McCall Zerboni, the NWSL's all-time leader in fouls committed.
It's a great stat to have, by the way.
Colin Zerboni is not afraid to get dirty if she needs to. Labonta. Jenkins was there as well as Elizabeth Ball, and Elizabeth Ball, the player slow to get up for Kansas City.
You see a good ball into the box, that's spinning away from the goalkeeper, but in behind this back line, and just looks like two players just maybe a hand, maybe Anumanu, when she goes to rise, it just looks like a hand comes across and just clips into those. Those are those stinger ones that make your eyes water a little bit, but she's good to go.
It was a couple of games ago for Elizabeth Ball. She had her first goal in the NWSL coming off a header. McCain for Labonta. Now to Kiki Pickett. Pickett turning away from Monahan. Labonta tripped up once again by McCall Zerboni. I think that's going to be her final warning there. Next time she might see yellow. Look at both these teams missing some Canadians who are away with a Canadian victory tour. Kaylin Sheridan, Evelyn Vian, Desiree Scott being those big names. Victoria Pickett also gone. You have Jessica Silva away with Portugal. Of course, Carly Lloyd last night making her 315th cap with the U.S. national team, second most all time. $55 players in total from the NWSL representing their respective countries. Cujo. Long, near side, Eddie. Monahan. High into the air. Roland will send this away. Just join us. Both goals coming in the first half. Midge Purse would get Gotham on the board first in the 25th minute, assisted by McCall Zerboni. Kristen Edmonds would score in the 45th minute from the spot. Look at this game, a tie. Well, it gets Gotham a point, but it does not clinch them a playoff spot.
But you do look at Gotham, obviously, an extra couple games, obviously playing that home and away versus race in Louisville. So good opportunity to clinch if they can't do it here tonight.
This one sent away by Pickett, but only as far as Midge Purse in the area. Eddie. Jenkins back to help defensively. Jenkins falls down, now space for Eddie. Back post. Zerboni. Some other news here in the NWSL. Marla Messi named interim CEO. She served as president and chief executive officer of the 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup, and she'll oversee the day-to-day operations and work with the Board of Governors to execute key initiatives and to promote accountable and sustainable culture here in the NWSL. Cujo knocked off the ball by Mace, but able to get back on. Long. Anamanu. Anamanu, 7 goals on the season, but has not scored in 8 games. Cujo back post. Zerboni was right there, that one curling out.
It's a great ball, again, from Cujo. This is that substitute, fabulous, splitting the lines, low, hard driven. McCall Zerboni just not being able to get on to the end of this one to put this one into the back of the net. But I just want to jump back to your point with Anamanu. Yes, she hasn't scored in a few matches, but she always affects the play. And that partnership with her and Purse has been clinical in their last games where they've gone on a big run. She's always in the mix. She's always, whether it's driving behind the back line or just the combination play, she always somehow seems to affect the match.
Ball over the top. Cujo to the near touchline. Well out on the play was Roland. Anamanu there in the vicinity, as well as Paige Monahan for Gotham.
I don't mind this from Ball either. Obviously, communication. You're at like a risky spot in the game at the pitch. Yes, maybe you potentially heard the goalkeeper call for this, but it's outside of that 18-yard box. As a defender, you're always going to put your foot through this. I love this from Ball.
Long. Pressured here by Hamilton. Tripped up. Zerboni for Anamanu. And a corner now for Gotham. fans, CBS Sports will air a special feature on Carly Lloyd this Saturday on CBS and Paramount Plus. Catch it on at We Need to Talk at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And there will be an extended version of that at halftime on the October 31st game between Gotham and Racing Louisville. Freeman in her second game back from injury. Started the season at center back for this Gotham side. Didasco. Long. Another quality ball there by Didasco.
Substitution for Kansas City in the 77th minute. Leading the game is number 28, Abby McCain.
So McCain out, and Mallory Weber will come in.
I love this sub. I think Weber is so good. She comes in, always affects the game somehow. She's a workhorse, gets stuck in, and then in that attacking threat, always can find passes, whether it's slipping through the back line or taking players on.
Weber won an NWSL championship with the Portland Thorns in 2017 as Eddie clips it in, but nothing happening here for Gotham. Purse looking for Anamanu. And here is Weber. Mace. Del Fava. Purse with Anamana to her left. Eddie looking for Monahan. Headed away by Ball. Edmonds with lone goal for Kansas City. Second ever goal scored from the spot for Kansas City. The other one being scored by Lola Bonta, as we'll have a foul here at midfield. Monahan. Cujo calls for the ball, receives it. Eddie.
This game's become a little bit cagey. Just missed passes, late tackles, a little bit sloppy. Almost looks a little bit like the heavy legs and the fatigue are starting to set in. And as this game wears on, Gotham obviously want to clinch the playoffs, but they still have 2 more games after this one, both against Racing at home and away.
Labonta. Jenkins turns away. Switching sides now is Gotham. Eddie. Down the line for Purse. Purse, clever move to get by Mace. To her right foot, Purse. And now a chance here for Jenkins in Kansas City. Hamilton in the middle. Jenkins to that left foot, blocked away by Freeman. Delfava. Kansas City looking for a late goal. Back post ball, headed up in the air. Good job there by Lewandowski to head that one away. Weber, Labonta. Out wide. Pickett. Looking for Hamilton.
And it's a weird game because you look at Kansas City, they've had the more quality opportunities. They look a little bit more threatening in this final third opposed to Gotham on the other end. They're just taking a little bit more care, that final pass, good crossing opportunities. And this is that point that I made early on about that switch and pitch next season. I think it's going to benefit this team because of wide areas. You look already how many crosses from wide areas, whether it's the right-hand side or left-hand side. It's just quality service inside this 18-yard box.
Hamilton, chance here, and this one sent up into the stands.
And these are just those chances that I was just alluding to, obviously not coming off Labonta's foot properly, but getting in good goal-scoring opportunities, being patient around the 18-yard box, finding the right pass. And it's honestly like we're watching a new team this season for Kansas City at the later part of it. It's almost that they've found this calmness within the team. They know the tactics they want to play. It comes down to bringing in good players from other clubs that I think has really solidified this starting 11. And I mean, talking about even missing players like a Desiree Scott, you look at a Kristen Emmons that can fill that role and has done it brilliantly tonight and has got on the score sheet.
Purse slotting this one through to Cujo. Caitlin Rowland will send this way. She's the only NWSL player who has been on 4 championship teams in her career, in 15 with Kansas City and 16 with Western New York, and then back-to-back championships with the North Carolina Courage before coming in a trade to Kansas City here this season. Of course, A.D. French now the main goalkeeper for Kansas City after a trade with Portland. Delfava loses the ball to Long. Cujo to Purse. This pass chopped down by Haley Mace. Mace trying to switch sides, but can't get it by Paige Monahan as she's knocked off the ball by Mallory Weber. Purse looking for that second goal to her left foot. Eddie. Corner here for Gotham as that's played off the toe of Kate Del Fava. We approach the 86th minute, a chance here for Gotham to take the lead.
You would think there wouldn't be a lot of stoppage time in this. It's been a pretty fluid second 45 minutes, and I think if this score does hold, I think Kansas City will be a little bit disappointed that they weren't able to tuck one away. Gotham have had their chances, but it's Kansas City that have had more quality opportunities.
Zaboni, Cujo at the top of the area.
And that's that quality, just not getting enough strength, getting in good areas. And Cujo obviously coming off the bench in the substitute role in this match, but just not getting enough power in behind it.
Hamilton.
Is it bad I'm hoping this holds? Because then you have 3 teams that are sitting on 32 points. Obviously Gotham having 2 more matches, it just makes it so exciting. I'm being selfish, I understand that.
And nothing wrong with being selfish there as Purse crosses. But you get 4 straight days to close out the season here in the NWSL. It all beginning on Thursday with Gotham taking on Racing Louisville. But you look at a chance here, we could see movement from 2nd to 7th in the standings. Of course, 3 teams have clinched playoff spots. Portland that top seed, and then OL Reign and Washington also clinching. And now JC Johnson will come in. So JC Johnson will replace Haley Mace. Johnson in her 3rd season out of Nebraska.
Our producer is wearing a Nebraska shirt, so she's in our ear, delighted at the moment. Go Big Red.
Pickett. Leach pushing it up, but no one there for Kansas City as this game inches closer to a conclusion here. You have to think that both teams could come out with a point. Kansas City, they would be unbeaten at home in their last 7 games. Rough start for Kansas City, but really they've gotten better as the season has progressed.
And I just want to jump on that point because it's such a fabulous point you're making. This only builds them to be that much more difficult to beat next season because the confidence, players coming in, like I jumped on earlier, players finally knowing a role, understanding just the movement that they've had to make. Look at a player like Mace that came over in the trade of North Carolina, then has moved to a fullback position, been brilliant there. So it says a lot about the mentality of this team, and when you have a good, you don't have to have superstars, but when you have a team that's willing to fight for one another on the pitch, those are the teams that you need to look out for once you get into the playoffs.
Pickett to the inside. Edmonds. Looking for Weber. Here's There's the 2 goal scorers going at it, and Purse called for the foul. Purse scoring in the 25th minute, then Edmonds in the 45th from the spot. Purse now tied for second in the NWSL in goals scored with 9. Of course, Ashley Hatch leads the way with 10 on the year. Some pushing and shoving going on there at the top of the area. One minute of stoppage time added on. High lofting ball.
Kansas City fans, the fourth official indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time in the second half. 1 minute.
Monahan. Now maybe one last dash for Gotham. Giveaway by Gotham.
I got a good stat for you. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
You know me, I never have stats. McCall Zerboni has the most fouls in the league, but only has 18 yellow cards in 8 years and only 1 red card ever. That is strategic fouling at its finest.
This one played out by Kristen Edmonds, and now a late corner here for Gotham to possibly close out this game.
You're not impressed with it.
No, I am.
You're
I
not
love
impressed
it. I
with
love
it.
it.
But that, I mean, it says a lot about a player. You hate to play against someone like her. Frustrates you.
Smart fouls. Knows when
Smart
to take
fouls.
'em.
Knows when to take them. It comes from experience. It's fabulous.
And he isn't over-aggressive, so it doesn't
Exactly.
force that red card. A player that still is on the field as opposed to having to sit out maybe a few games.
Jen Cooper, you're welcome.
They're a late chance, and the final whistle has blown. Kaylin, your thoughts on tonight's 1-1 score?
I think it's a well-deserved 1-1 draw in this match, and I'm secretly delighted because I want to see it come down to decision day to see who gets those last spots and clinches a playoff spot. I think for Kansas City more so, it's such a good place for them to be in. You can see them, the confidence they're oozing, the smiles on their face. You didn't see that at all at the beginning of the season. And then for Gotham, I mean, they're almost there, and they've gone on a huge run. I mean, you look at it, they haven't lost in 6 games now, has scored 7 goals in the last 3 matches, so they can be really proud of that. It's a draw. I mean, if we put our money on it, Gotham will probably most likely clinch a playoff spot, but again, it's going to come down to some big matches here this weekend, and I cannot wait.
For Midge Purse now 3 straight games with a goal. Lone goal for Kansas City coming from Kristen Edmonds. We'll step aside, and when we return, we'll have highlights and stats from the game tonight between Kansas City and Gotham FC.
Authentic and replica KC NWSL jerseys, or purchase them online at shop.kcwoso.com.
Welcome back. Tonight's game between Kansas City and Gotham ends 1-1, and fans, CBS Sports will air a special feature on Carly Lloyd tomorrow on CBS and Paramount Plus. Catch it on at We Need to Talk at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And Kaylin, 90 minutes in the books as this one ends with both teams coming up with a point.
Yeah, and I loved it. I'm selfish, and I've always been selfish. I love that this ended 0-0 because it's still going to depend on what happens this weekend. But Purse, I mean, she's really making a statement of why she was left off this roster for the U.S. Women's National Team, because she has been on fire, to say the least. What an absolutely fantastic shot. And then Jenkins as well. I mean, she's been so good for Kansas City down this right-hand side. And then Mace moving from that forward line to the back line. And she better get ready because her new spot is in a fullback position. Not that she's not good up top, but she just adds so much in that fullback position. And then moments earlier, Hamilton missed a huge breakaway opportunity. I won't say breakaway. She did have a little bit of pressure, but skied it over the bar, got brought down here, won the ball back, and it was Edmonds to slot this one home. And not the first PK, Jen Cooper. Thank you so much for letting us know that. The second PK from the spot that Kansas City has scored this season. And then fabulous goalkeeping clinic here today. A great save. Yes, it's at her, but to be able to move your feet that quick from right to left and have the strength to push that one out of danger. A great game all around. And I mean, you look at these stats, pretty even to say the least. 4 shots on target. I think Kansas City, one thing I will say is they were a little bit better in that final third, just getting closer and better opportunities on target. Whereas Gotham, they were almost held out of that 18-yard box. So their shots on target weren't as dangerous as Kansas, but a fabulous match from start to finish.
And you look at the implications on the standings here. Since Gotham were unable to get a victory, while they do not clinch a playoff berth, they still hold that 5th spot, though, with 33 points.
Yeah, I mean, come on, talk to me. Look at this. I get excited. I mean, I know I'm shouting at all you guys at home, and my voice is probably annoying at this point. You just listened to me for 90 minutes. But look at this, 32. Even you can't. Yeah, Orlando, I'm going to count them out. But North Carolina, Houston, and Gotham, which team is going to claw that 5th and 6th playoff spot? It is, I can't wait.
You get the top 2 teams getting by, 6 teams in total making the playoffs this year for Kansas City, now unbeaten in their last 7 at home. Up next for them, Saturday, October 30th, they will host OL Reign at 8 p.m. Meanwhile, Gotham back to the drawing board as they look to get a win next Thursday at Louisville. That game at 7:30 Eastern. Kansas City's lone goal coming from Kristen Edmonds tonight for Midge Purse. She would get her 9th of the season for Gotham for our crew. For Kaylin Kyle, I'm Josh Toll. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next weekend right here on Twitch.